Yes. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. For those of you watching who this may be my first video you've ever seen, my name is Connor. I own and operate a small ground and garden maintenance business in the west of Scotland. I am 4 years deep now into my business journey. Christ, it feels like 4 years. So I thought, why not take a wee trip back, and I want to discuss some of the things I wish I knew in my first year of business, because so many mistakes have been made, and I thought this might be a good opportunity to maybe, there's some guys out there and have boys messaging me all the time saying they're starting up. I thought this video might be quite helpful for folks like you who are starting up and can avoid some of these mistakes. One thing I'll caveat the video with though is like, a lot of these mistakes sometimes just can be avoided. There's things in your first year of business that you just have to learn the hard way, and I can give a whole load of advice and perspective, but like, you're gonna make a crap load of mistakes, and I tried to sort out as many issues as possible, thought of as many problems as possible before starting my business, but you're going to run into a lot of things that you never even knew existed. So if you're hesitating because of these problems or blah blah blah, don't let it stop you from going for something like this or starting your own thing, whether it's garden maintenance or whatever it might be. You're gonna get problems that are unforeseen either way, so you may as well just crack on and try, you know? So these points are in no particular order, but I will save probably the most important one for last, so stick around to the end of the video and you get to hear all that wisdom, I guess. So first point I want to rattle off is one that I was definitely guilty of in my first year, is buying things that I don't really need. So in year one, you're not gonna make that much money. If you do, fair play, like it's rare that it happens. For me anyway, personally, I did not make that much money in year one, and one of my biggest mistakes is just buying machines that I didn't really have any work lined up for, or just minimal work lined up for. It's okay nowadays buying a tool expecting to then take on new work. So say you buy like a new ride-on mower and you start going after bigger patches of grass, but you've already got an established grass run that makes you plenty of money. That's fine, but in year one, you really need to be careful where you put your money. Everything you buy, you just need to genuinely think, is this thing gonna make me money short term? Because everything you buy in year one, it needs to make you money short term, immediately basically, because you have no money. So if you're starting from scratch, you have no money, so just only buy tools that you essentially need. Like me in year one, I spent like £300-400 on a scarifier, and I've probably used that thing 4 times in the last 4 years. So, and I bought that in year one, and it was just a silly purchase. The customer asked me to do a big scarifying job. I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy this and I'll get into it. And I just never ended up going that way. I never ended up offering it as a thing going forwards, and no one really asked me about scarifying or aeration, which is crazy because we cut so many lawns. But just for me, the customers I have, the way it went, it was a pointless machine to buy. There's 400 quid on an already, you know, like sometimes I'd make £400 in a week maybe. Like the whole week of worth of money is gone on this one machine that doesn't make you any money. So it's just always be very careful what tools you choose to buy. It's easy nowadays for me to just buy tools knowing that work will come in eventually. Like the other week, I bought a whole load of Milwaukee gear that I might not essentially use right now, but I know I will in the future, but it's fine, I can sit on that stuff. It's not like I'm scraping by anymore. But year one, guys, just buy what you need. Honest to God, that is a massive thing. Just do not buy, and don't buy like the latest, greatest stuff. Kind of get what you need to grow and just keep going that direction. And that kind of leads me into my second point: save more money. You never know what's going to happen in your first year of business, and you always want to operate with like a decent like emergency fund, I guess. I was like in my year one, I had horrific luck, and I basically had to write off the original van that I'd bought. I had gearbox issues that went and got fixed, and then the gearbox issues came back because it wasn't fixed properly. So I was like, oh yeah, I've saved up. I was going into November, I'd saved up £4,000. I got no work over the winter time. I'd saved up £4,000, and then boom, big massive garage bill, £2,500 in November. Most of my savings wiped. So Another massive one is just try build up a big a reserve as possible. I was always chasing growth in year one, and you just shouldn't. The only growth you should be just chasing is just that customer growth, getting better, your job, growing in those kind of aspects. I was doing that, but I just didn't do it enough, and yeah, I ended up badly on my arse in year one because I just never saved up enough money. Obviously, unfortunate circumstances happened, like those are unforeseen things, but prepare for it. Like anything can go wrong. Like you need to operate like you might not be getting work because like it's likely that that is the case. So yeah, another point I'd say is just save more money, keep a bigger emergency fund, and yeah, just be careful. Just be careful, I guess. Point number 3 is make sure to keep sticking to your scheduled days off, and make sure to have scheduled days off, because you will burn out 100%. I was in, like, trust me, I totally get the year one mindset. Like, I had a completely different mindset back in year one when it came to working, because like you do have to work hard, you do have to give up weekends. You're trying to learn the job, you make a bunch of mistakes, you end up losing money, you end up having to work more to make up for it, but you need to get to the point where you have scheduled days off. Like me right now, I take the weekend off no matter what. Like within reason, it's like this year, I've probably worked maybe 3-4 Saturdays. And like, I just didn't want to do it, but I had to. You know, Brody was away, tools have broken, we've fallen behind, weather. I do get it, and it's a hard job as well. This one in particular, obviously, if you're starting a different business, there's going to be different nuances here. But so many things can go wrong all the time in my business, and you just end up having to work those extra days. But don't. I mean, you need to remember, and I try to remember this, the whole reason you're doing this whole business thing is to get control back in your life, you know, be your own man, be your own boss, and, you know, you're trying to make more money to provide, say, for your family or for yourself or whatever. Like, you don't live to work. So just remember that. You need to take time off, because then all this, the mass amount of effort you put into all of this is kind of pointless, because the mass effort just equates to just putting in more effort. And it's just this spiral, and then before you know it, you're just sat there miserable. Like, why the hell am I even doing this? And, you know, you start to have thoughts like, I want to chuck this. I'm not for this. This isn't for me. So you need to take time off, and you just need to do that. You absolutely have your scheduled days off and try stick to them as much as possible. Even if you fall behind or whatever, like, it is what it is. Like, as long as you're honest with your customers, you let people know, keep communication high. My customers don't mind when I tell them I have to reschedule or things are going to take longer. Most of the time they don't mind, because they know that it will eventually get done. That's a huge thing. Like, people just like to be communicated with, and as long as you communicate these things, most of the time people don't mind. They understand. A lot of people understand that you're one guy, you know, you're only human. Things go wrong out with your control. So yeah, take your days off, guys. Don't be like me in year one, where you end up working, you know, I think I worked 47 days in a row at one point, just because I'd made so many mistakes, lost money, fucked up a job, and had to go fix things. But that was like the worst mindset I've ever been in. When I was going through all that, I was like, holy Christ, this sucks. But luckily now, I know that now. In year 4, I take plenty of days off. Like, today's a day off for me where I can do these videos and things like that. But for the love of fuck, take some days off. And the days off as well are great for acting as like kind of hard resets, where when you're physically working, you're focused on the day to day, and you're out doing this and that, and you're focused on what's going in front of you. You need that time, days off, where you just sit and ponder stuff, and you have time to just think about the direction you're going in, think about what you're doing, planning for the future and all that. So days off are massively important, guys, so make sure to bloody take them. I guess this leads me on to another point as well, is be honest. Just be honest. There are times where you need to tell maybe white lies. The more honest you are with yourself, with your customers, with everyone you work with, just the better things will go. If you are a pathological liar, leave a trail of shite behind you, do bad work and pat people off and all that, it will come back and bite you 100%. Not that I did much of this, but in year 1, I was lazier. I wasn't as good as I am now at getting back to people, and I did, you know, patch certain calls, and, you know, I'm not afraid to admit this. Like, whole point of this is to be as honest as possible and, like, teach some life lessons here so you can learn. But Oh man, if you make a mistake, just own up to it. Just correct it. People will respect you way more if you just do these things. Do not get into the habit of just being like, oh fuck it, it's only one customer. I'll just like not ever get back to them and block them. Like, because like you'll see them again, you'll bump into them again. Trust me, it's happened to me. As much as I hate to admit it, and I'm glad in recent years, like I'm just nothing like that anymore. I've gotten better. I have a bit more respect for folk, and I just like being honest. Honesty is the policy. So just do it. People will respect you way more. You'll get more work from it as well. And people just trust you. People are just building trust. Like that's a massive thing. Like one of the main reasons like things are going a lot smoother for me now, especially on the customer side of things, is because I'm just honest with people and they know that I'm honest, I think. So yeah, just be honest. Like there's no point in lying and leaving this massive trail of crap behind you, because it'll come back and bite you, and it'll suck, and it'll feel worse, and it'll be embarrassing. And yeah, so just try to keep as honest as you can with your work. Even to this day, I am not perfect. I'm not saying that, but I do, hand on heart, try to be as honest as I can and try make things right in the end wherever possible. It's difficult, people are difficult, running a business is super difficult, you're high in emotions, and you know, sometimes you cannot be arsed and you feel terrible and you have to put a face on, but this is the life you're signing up for. Whatever business you get into, whether it's this or something else, it's a lifestyle. You need to kind of live and breathe it, and you need to be okay with that. And that leads me on to another point, is find the joy in what you do. Year one, I was obsessed with just go, need to make money, grind, wake up, work. I'm the hardest worker going. And I forgot to enjoy it. I forgot to have fun because I was too busy just being so stressed. And you know, it's not like I was trying to be stressed, obviously not, but like a huge thing is like your business will grow, but like there needs to be joy there for that to happen. For it to naturally grow as well, you need to find the joy in what you do. And if you don't, it won't grow, and you'll quit, and you'll stop doing it, you'll stop doing good work, you'll stop respecting yourself, and it'll be a spiral. Like it was a huge wake-up call for me, maybe year 2, 3, where I was like, mate, you need to find the joy, because you're going to chuck this. You're stressing yourself out trying to make this amount of money, or trying to move to this point in life that you're not ready for yet, or getting frustrated with where you are. But if you can find the joy in your day-to-day, everything will happen, because you know, every day's another day added to the list. You've ticked off another day getting stuff done, moving things in the right direction. So if you can enjoy it while you're doing it all, man, it's like a superpower. That's half the battle, isn't it? You know, we all want to enjoy what we do. Most people hate what they do, and I reckon most people would take a pay cut to enjoy what they do at work. So if you can find that balance of joy in the business that you're running, like, mate, you're set. You're absolutely set. So prioritize that when you can. I totally understand how, you know, it's super stressful. You come up against so many things in year one that you had no idea about, but keep the joy, keep the peace in your minds, and continue on that path, and things will happen either way. And the final, most important point I'm going to stress here on this one that has just like been huge for me to kind of recognize, is this takes a lot of time. In year one, I had this perception, and my family all know this because I was talking to them about all my friends and stuff like that, but like everything is going to take way longer than you think it will. Everything. Like how fast you grow, you know, adding tools, like just the general growth of your character as well, like everything takes vastly longer. I was thinking I was going to speed run this and be a fucking millionaire when I'm 30. No, not the case at all, because it's just not. Just like make sure you know that you understand that you're in this kind of for the long run. Like it may be 5 to 10 years before you start making that wage that you want to make from your business, you know, because there's so much crap. Like, see, think of every single decision I've had to make up until this point. There's so many forks in the road where like things go wrong, you made the wrong decision, you pay the price of going back a few steps to go just forward one. And yeah, so just bear that in mind. This whole thing, it doesn't matter what you do, there are rare examples, and I think the internet is kind of like skewed people's perception because they see people successful online, and you know, it seems like people are like overnight millionaires and all that because they watch someone online and they're doing super well and they're so young and it's great, and it just gives you like a false perception. I definitely think I had a false perception of how long this was going to take, and I know this now. I know this takes just steady time and a lot of patience and a lot of delayed gratification. Some of you will probably relate to a lot of what I've said there, but these are just some of the things, guys, that I've found that I wish I knew in year one. So obviously being 4 years deep now, it is kind of mad looking back as to who I was in year one. I kind of wish I was filming in year one, but I obviously didn't want to because I was just like a mess, and like I was not a nice, well-running, oiled machine back then as I am now. Like I'm a lot more confident doing these videos and talking and sharing some of these experiences. But yeah, hopefully that's helped some of you guys out there, because I guess that's somewhat the point of these videos. I don't really know the point of them still. I'm just kind of making them, I guess. But yeah, hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully this was somewhat insightful. And I guess I'll leave this video with a wee quote as well, because I am a massive fan of quotes. And I guess this one's for all the year one guys out there who are struggling. But if you're going through hell, keep going. And I think that's a wee Winston Churchill one. Could be wrong though. But if you're going through hell, keep going, because it will be worth it. You'll figure all this nonsense out and you'll get there in the end. I feel like I'm a kind of a living example of that without sucking myself off too much here. But I feel like that. I feel like I've came a massive ways from year one to year 4 now. And I'm super proud of myself for everything I've done. And I'm proud of just like growing and becoming a better person along the way while trying to improve and keep my life together. So enjoy the ride, guys. Make sure you just keep pushing forward. It is worth it in the end. If you want it bad enough, you can have anything you want in life. So I appreciate you watching the video as always, guys. If you want to check out anything else from us, Instagram is linked right there. You give me a follow, you can see our day-to-day run-ins. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, if you enjoy the content, there'll be more coming out, especially over the winter time, because, you know, hopefully I'll be out working less. But thanks as always for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.